Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jordan Cameron. I'm back today with another update video of our biggest blow off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull in crypto history. And as I make this video, I make this in accordance of any day now. Any day now, I am expecting the next leg up for the crypto market. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why I expect any day now. Now, once again, if this does not play out and it is not any day now, that does not change our thesis of expecting the crypto market to go up to that 4236 Fibonacci level, the 10 trillion psychological level, the top of our macro rising wedge before we get the biggest plunge in crypto history. Okay, but I'm going to explain to you guys why on the charts that I think we're preparing for total market cap to get this big rise, and especially over here on the altcoin market, which is our total 3 chart, to get this massive explosion up to the 2618 and 3618 Fibonacci's after having our 3 higher low structure. I'm going to show you guys all in that video today, guys. So make sure you guys, if you want to be part of the journey of this biggest blow off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest .com bubble 2.0, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, man. We're so close to 100K. I appreciate all the support on the channel. And even if you want to subscribe, so if it doesn't play out, you can come and make fun of me in the comment section. You guys can do that too. But let's jump on in. So, for anyone that's not familiar with our thesis, once again, we're expecting the crypto market to have this big blow off top, be followed by the biggest rug pull in crypto history. And that's really the main driver of this. There's a couple different reasons, but the main driver of this is we expect over here on the stablecoin dominance chart, which is basically the inverse of what happens with crypto. So if we look at the stablecoin dominance chart, we expect this to go down, right? We inversely expect the total cryptocurrency market cap to rise, right? Because they are inversely correlated, correct? So how we've been looking at this since the tariff lows in March and April, right? When we hit the top of this range, we said, okay, we're expecting it to move back down to the bottom of the range, right? And if we expect this to move from the top, right, to the bottom of the range, we're expecting total market cap from that point at the bottom of our rising wedge, right, to get a move back up to the top of our rising wedge, which completes our rising wedge structure, right? So how we're looking at this right now is you guys can see that we're about 2/3 of the way to the bottom of this range, okay? And typically the bottom part of that range can be sort of a chop, and this last 1/3 of the move, I do expect to be the most parabolic move for the crypto market. So as we look in here, right, and you guys can see that we're about 2/3 of the way down, right? Ultimately, just to kind of go over our bigger overview of this, okay, what I am expecting here is this to continue back down to the bottom of the range and to actually make a new low before it actually shoots back up and goes into, sort of its own Wyckoff accumulation structure, which if you don't know anything about Wyckoff accumulation, it is simply 3 lows. The third low, actually taking out those 2 lows, right? Getting everyone super euphoric that, in this chart obviously would be, the bear is euphoric to the downside, but instead we make a slightly lower low before we actually impulse to the upside, which once again, we're expecting this to move down, right? Which is basically, people taking money out of stable coins and putting them into cryptos, right? Which is why we're expecting this to move up, okay? And if we actually take a look, and the reason why I say sort of any day now, if we actually take a look at sort of the trend lines that we've been, sort of looking at for the stablecoin dominance chart, okay, you guys can see typically when we break these upward sloping trend lines and these trends, right, that's the start of a big parabolic move for crypto. So right here in April 19th, right, we go back over here in April 19th for the total market cap of crypto. You guys can see April 19th, the week of April 19th, was actually the start of this big impulse for the total cryptocurrency market to the upside, okay? If you actually look over here, when we had this obviously big move down for stablecoin dominance, we had this, right, rise up, right, a retrace up. And when we broke down right here, which is the day of July 9th, right, we can see the week of July 9th was actually this big impulse where total market cap finally got back above all-time highs and actually saw a big impulse to the upside, right, is when this broke to the downside. Now, what you'll notice is, again, is we've had another retrace up on stablecoin dominance. But you guys can see right now as we speak, the daily chart is actually looking to break to the downside. Depends on the close today, but you guys can see for the first time since, we have to go back to August 13th, right, which is about a month ago. You guys can see the daily chart is actually starting to break another trend line to the downside, which is why I put any day now. Now, it's not just that, right? It's not just, once again, our thesis still stands, and I still believe where the crypto market is going higher until we see 4.91% on stablecoin dominance, okay? But, we combine this with this break into the downside as we speak, right? And we actually look at our total market cap chart and our Bitcoin chart. We'll start over here with Bitcoin. You guys can see once again, as we discussed in last video, as everyone gets super afraid for the Bitcoin, right? You guys can see we are simply just retesting those previous December 2024 highs. And if you actually look over here on total market cap, you guys can see as well, if we bring over an arrow, you guys can see that we are simply just retesting those 2024 highs as well. So 2 retests for total market cap, right, for Bitcoin. And actually over here for the altcoin market, you guys can see we had our double bottom come and retest the top of this previous structure, simply coming back down and also retesting. So all our charts with nice retests as we have stablecoin dominance also break into the downside, in my opinion, leads to the any day now title. Okay. And last time, just to put that into perspective, last time I said any day now, it was sort of right before we had this big impulse on total market cap back over here in June. Okay. So I don't say that lightly of any day now. Now, once again, I continue to say this doesn't mean, right? We have the FOMC meeting next week. We could see people de-risk into that. Okay, that doesn't mean we can't still see another week of chop before FOMC meeting next Wednesday. Okay, doesn't mean we have to shoot up today. But as I say, any day now, I would not be surprised if it's tomorrow. That's what I mean, sort of by the any day now tag. Is I would not be surprised if this next leg up for the total cryptocurrency market starts tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts next week. Right, but any day now means any day now. Okay, I would not be surprised if it happened right now. Right, so that's what that tag means. Now, as we kind of go along, once again, I continue to say, for all the bears out there, they're saying at the top it is in for crypto. I do not believe the top is in for crypto until I see 4.91% on stablecoin dominance. And as I sort of say this, the further this goes down over the next few weeks to months, guys, the more people you will believe that the cryptocurrency market will never top. And I put this tag up here on our thesis chart. This is our main thesis. This is, not changing our mind every 2 seconds thesis. As I say this, as this continues higher, watch everyone say crypto will change the world. What's the sentiment again now, right? We're getting another simply couple week pullback. And once again, it's people saying that the cryptocurrency market is topped. It's people saying that we're not going to go up anymore, right? This is what happens on every couple week pullback. And this is the, as we climb the wall of worry, right? That's what they sort of call it. So the higher this cryptocurrency market gets, guys, people are going to say crypto will change the world. Your Uncle Tim, your Aunt Sue, your cousin Billy is all going to be wanting buying, right? XRP, Chainlink, Crow, Doge. They're all going to want to buy all those when they're flying up over the next few months. Okay. And that's why on this channel, I want you guys to be subscribed so you guys can follow the process of selling, right? And me harping on taking profits as this market goes up over the next few months. Okay, right now, no one's talking about crypto outside our little crypto bubble. They will in a few months, same as every last Q4 of every single cycle, like over here back in 2017, right? And same over here back in 2021. 4 years later, here we are at the end of 2025, going into Q4, right? And once again, it's quiet, it's crickets. We look over here on our Coinbase app indicator, right? As we say, we are not worried about the cryptocurrency market being topped until we at least see Coinbase in our top 5 apps, okay? And, just to sort of let you know where it is, we're at 358, okay? 358. With Bitcoin 10% below all-time highs, ETH below 10% below all-time highs, and a bunch of cryptos, 10 to 15% below their all-time highs. Okay, 300. We are nowhere near that top 5 for the Coinbase app indicator. And just to guys, as we go over this, these are going to be the main two things that I'm watching here. Is, if you don't know, in 2017 and 2021, when the Coinbase app hit #1 on the App Store, that means the cryptocurrency market was topped, right? 100%, it was topped. It only took a few days and sort of the market was over, okay? So once again, Coinbase app, 358, not even close to the top 5. Stablecoin dominance, not close to 4.91%. I think we are in a phenomenal position, right, of disbelief, of fear, despite really a small pullback as we sort of speak. Now, what everyone's going to sort of point to as we kind of go along here is, how could we get this, right? How could we get this, and what's going to outperform? My sort of expectations to see this big blow off top that I'm expecting for the crypto market is, once again, I think Bitcoin's going to go higher, but I do believe it's going to be led by the altcoins. Ethereum breaking into new all-time highs, XRP breaking into new all-time highs, right? Chainlink, right? A lot of these fundamental altcoins, I think, are going to be the big gainers. And the reason why I think this is because they all have this 3 higher low structure, whether it's Chainlink, whether it's Crow, which already kind of got the move, but whether it's Crow, you look over here at Doge, right? Whether it's any of these higher cap cryptos with these 3 higher low structures, they all have the typical accumulation structure of the bear market, right? And then the accumulation stage, where I think these are really going to start moving up, right? Where they have their bear market and their accumulation stage, where they have their bear market and then the 3 higher low accumulation stage. A lot of these cryptos are showing the same similarities, right? And it is really evident on the altcoin chart, which has their bear market and our 3 rising valley structure, okay, which I do believe is going to take us to the top of this of the altcoin market, which is here the total 3 ES chart, which is crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, ETH, and stablecoins. This really shows the structure of the altcoins minus Bitcoin, ETH, and stablecoins. Okay, I really believe this has its own structure of getting back up to the top of its rising wedge before ultimately getting this big rug pull. Now, a lot of people will sit here and criticize me and say, Jordan, you're a perma bull. You always think we're going to go up. And that's not true. And there will be a time where you guys will actually hate me for thinking the market's going to go down, but that's not the time. I firmly believe this market is going higher, and I firmly believe this market is about to go parabolic over the next few months. Okay, but it will be the final bull trap. I do believe that this move up that we're about to see for Bitcoin, for ETH, will be the final bull trap before everything gets absolutely annihilated. And I'm going to continue to harp on that, and I'm going to touch on it a little bit in today's video towards the end here, as though I am a sort of a quote unquote perma bull right now, right? And I have my reasons why I am, and I show the data on the charts. I'm not just up here rambling about no reason. I have the data on the charts on why I believe that's going to happen, but sort of my many reasons of why I think this is going to be the final sort of, I call it bull trap, before everything gets absolutely rugged, is obviously we have the sort of structure for it on the altcoin market. We have the structure for it for Bitcoin dominance, which every time we see this big Bitcoin dominance drop at the end of cycles, that is the sort of the beginning of the end. Okay, that's not the start. That's not people yelling that we're going into a super cycle. That is the beginning of the end when you see the altcoin market start to take over. That's typically a sign of over exuberance in markets, and that's a sign before absolute devastation. We're talking 90 to 99% down on almost every single crypto, and probably 80+% down on Bitcoin itself. I know people don't think that's going to happen anymore. I disagree. I do still think Bitcoin's going to have its 80% bear markets as we go forward here. It's just going to be at a bigger scale for institutions. But as we see Bitcoin dominance drop here over the next few months, as you see stablecoin dominance completed this Wyckoff accumulation, right? I have my reasons of why I do believe that this is the beginning of the end. We see gold absolutely mooning up. Someone knows something. And I do believe, in my personal opinion, what we're going to see is actually gold chill out for a little bit here over the next few months. That's going to lead to the final sort of blast off phase for our cryptos, for the markets. right? You're going to start seeing over here on, the the stocks, right? S&P, NASDAQ. We're going to see the Russell start to break up, which if you guys follow anyone else, when the Russell breaks out, it's typically also when altcoins break out. And is it a coincidence that you have the Russell right here at all-time highs, while you also have the altcoins right there at all-time highs? Not at all, okay? And I think everything's sort of pointing to someone big buying gold because they know what's coming after this final blow-off top phase and this final bull trap. Okay, so though I am excited about this final phase, and I think you guys should be too, and our thesis is still so intact, and it couldn't be playing out more perfectly as we retest our all-time highs on total market cap and we retest our all-time highs on Bitcoin, right? And we finally start to break down on stablecoin dominance. As I say any day now, I also want to stress, okay, as this market moves higher, make sure we are taking profits on our cryptos, guys. But that's going to be it for today's video. A little bit of a rant and reel at the end, but I show everything in the charts. I show everything in the data. And if you want to be a part of this journey, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, man. We're getting so close to 100K. Can't believe it, man. It's been a long time coming. But make sure you're here for part of the journey, right? Part of the journey as we kind of go along here. And part of the journey of this market getting super euphoric is holding in our emotions, making sure we're selling on the way up when your Uncle Bill is buying, right? And making sure that, as we go into this deep bear, right, we're looking for buying opportunities in 2026 and 2027. Make sure you guys are here for the channel as we continue to talk about that every single day going forward. It's been your boy, Jordan Cameron. I'll catch you guys in the next I'll be alive tomorrow, so make sure you guys are here for the live stream tomorrow. Peace.